Douglas Robert Ford MPP Party. He represents the Toronto area riding of Etobicoke North in the Ontario legislature. With his brother Randy, Ford co-owns Deco Labels and Tags, a printing business operating in Canada and the United States that was founded by their father, Doug Ford Sr., who served as a member of provincial parliament from 1995 to 1999. Ford was a Toronto City Councillor for Ward 2 Etobicoke North from 2010 to 2014 at the same time that his brother, Rob Ford, was Mayor of Toronto. Ford ran for the 2014 Toronto mayoral election, where he placed second behind John Tory. In 2018, Ford won the party leadership election of the PC party and led the PCs to a majority win in the 2018 Ontario general election. Ford was born in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada, the second of 4 children of Doug Bruce and Ruth Diane Ford. His paternal grandparents were English immigrants. He attended Scarlett Heights Collegiate Institute for 5 years, graduating in 1983. He then attended Humber College for 2 months before dropping out. In the 1990s, Ford became involved in the running of Deco Labels and Tags, a business co-founded by his father in 1962. The company makes pressure-sensitive labels for plastic-wrapped grocery products. Doug Jr. became president of the company in 2002 and was responsible for the company's expansion into Chicago. Nearing his death, his father divided up the company, leaving 40% to Doug Jr., 40% to Randy and 20% to Rob. In 2008, Doug Jr. launched the purchase of Wise Tag and Label in New Jersey and fired Wise Tag's manager. Former Deco employees suggest that the Chicago branch was well managed under Doug Jr. and that he was well liked, but that the company declined under Randy's leadership after Doug Jr. entered politics in 2010. As of 2011, Ford and his mother were directors of the company, managed by his brother Randy. Ford's first involvement in politics came when Doug Holliday approached Deco to print, for mayor, stickers for signs for his 1994 campaign for mayor of Etobicoke. Ford took it upon himself to canvass for Holliday. He then assisted in his father's campaigns as a PCMPP candidate in 1995 and 1999. He also ran his brother Rob's council campaigns in 2000, 2003, and 2006, and Rob's winning mayoral campaign in 2010. On October 25, 2010, Ford was elected as councillor to Toronto City Council in Ward 2. He succeeded his brother, Rob, who ran successfully for mayor of Toronto. Upon election, Doug Ford announced that he would donate his $100,000 annual salary to community organizations. As a city councillor, Ford voted to privatize garbage pickup west on Yonge Street, declare the Toronto Transit Commission an essential service, reduce the office budget of city councillors and eliminate the vehicle registration tax. While on city council, Ford served on the board of Build Toronto, an arm's-length city body responsible for developing and selling city land. He was also a director of the Canadian National Exhibition, and served on the Budget Committee, the Civic Appointments Committee and the Government Management Committee at Council. Ford was a member of the board of Toronto Transit Infrastructure Limited, a corporation set up to finance a Shepherd Avenue subway extension, which Council later cancelled. In 2011, Ford promoted an alternative plan for the Port Lands district of Toronto, including a monorail, a boat-in hotel, the world's largest Ferris wheel and a mega mall. The plan was ridiculed in the media and Council voted it down, including by members of the mayoral executive committee. Ford caused controversy after revealing that his brother Rob would be served a subpoena if Rob's friend and driver Alexander Lisi went to court over charges of extortion. Ford commented that the subpoena was in payback of Toronto Police Chief Bill Blair not getting a contract renewal with the Toronto Police Service, saying, "This is why we need a change at the top." In regards to Blair's contract, Blair filed a defamation lawsuit, demanding a written apology in exchange for dropping the suit. Ford apologized verbally and then later apologized and retracted the comments in writing. An investigative report by the Globe and Mail published in May 2013 alleged that Ford sold hashish at James Gardens for several years in the 1980s. Based on interviews with anonymous sources, Ford, who had never been charged with an offense, denied the allegations and accused the newspaper of unfairly targeting his brother. Then Mayor Rob Ford. The newspaper defended its report and its use of anonymous sources at an Ontario Press Council hearing, which dismissed complaints against the newspaper and found that its coverage was fair and ethical. Ford said at the time that he planned to sue the newspaper for libel. When asked in a 2018 interview why he had not sued, he replied that he had decided a lawsuit would be a waste of time. Ford opposed a house for developmentally disabled youth in his ward, saying the home had Rui